With last episode's board takeover saving us from any short-term financial worries, we're taking our first steps into Tier 9 feeling a lot more secure in the job. Today we have our first matches in the Midlands Premier Division and the FA Cup. Let's see how we get on. Packmeadow welcomes the Emirates FA Cup to its doors today. We're taking on Chelmsley. They're in the league above us, actually, so this could be a tough fixture. We'll have to see how this goes. I'm really not sure what to expect at all. After that, we're going to be taking on Market Drayton in our first league game of the season. So hopefully we can start off with 2 wins. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Although, saying that, I was looking at the competitions and I was expecting to have a good season. But I definitely don't think I'm going to be walking the league. But we are actually second favourites to win the league. So that's kind of crazy considering we've just been promoted. I mean, Midlands Town, who came up with us, are also fourth favourites. So this is it's a very strong promotion to the Chelmsley, who got relegated 11th. Mad. Before we get into that, obviously we did quite a bit of transfer business in the last episode. We are still looking at Jack Greaves. He did have a trial. He didn't sign at the end of the trial, so we have still got an offering for him. £60 a week's a little more than I'd like to pay, obviously, but since he is, and I went over this in the last episode, but since he is technically better, well, not just technically, pretty much all-round better than Kimo Moncrief, I feel like paying him £5 a week less is probably a very good option. Obviously, we did also sign Devontae Morton to be a bit of a big man up front for us in the last episode. So if we do sign Greaves, Tyler McGee will probably end up going, even though I know I've just offered him a new contract. But it seems like these don't mean much down at this level. As soon as you offer someone a contract, the £0 bids still keep coming in straight away. But if that does happen, obviously Tyler McGee will be leaving, and Devontae Morton will likely end up being our third choice option. As for the lineup today, I think this is how we're going to be. I didn't really want to start both with new wingers. Finleywood could play it, but I feel like we've actually somehow got better options than him now at this point. We've also got Ball starting at deep line playmaker and Metcalf starting at left back. I did think Metcalf had retired, but I think him stepping down to our level from Berry, which I feel like Berry were only 1 tier above us, but apparently signing for us, we get the message of he's basically given up on his career and he's going to step down the divisions. So, I'm not thrilled with that review. But while he's still technically our best left back, we will let him do the job. So yeah, I can't really see anything else I'd be looking to change. We have got Jack Wilson on the bench, and obviously if we compare him with SA, while he might not be as good in the things that I value pretty highly, he's a lot faster than SA. So if he comes in as more of an impact substitute, I feel like he could really do a job and run rings around the team. Alongside that, you might see, obviously, Shiloh Walder picked up an injury. Tommy Barrell and Nick Canina are both suspended for this match. They'll probably both be part of my first team plans. Tommy Barrell might end up on the bench, but obviously, Metcalf's knackered, so he might have to play quite a few games this season. But yeah, nothing else to cover. I think let's just get into it. Chelmsley Town still lining up in our standard 4-3-3. Chelmsley, however, are going with is that a 5-3-2, I'd say? Well, it's got to be a 5-3-2, otherwise it's a 6-2-2, and that doesn't really make any sense. 21 minutes without a single highlight yet. I'm going to drop a demand more. We'll see how people react. That's a lot of red faces. Let me get down. Oh, we've got decent level game sounds again today. Rami, back to Nicholson. Essie. Is that Essie or S? I'm not sure. Moncrief. Oh, no. Rami gets through on goal, though. Oh, and he skies the shot. That would have been perfect. First highlight of the game. And at least it was us. We've had 8 shots and none of them on target according to the stats screen. Burbage to get a cross in. Towel puts it straight at Yakubu. Fumbles it a bit, but he manages to pick it up. A very uneventful first half overall here. This is unexpected after last season. We've just had constant chances, it felt like last season. It's a little concerning. If there's anyone that I should take off, maybe. Moncrief's looking ill-disciplined. What's new? Frankly, that's how we finished the last season. That's how we started the new one. I'm going to give it a bit of time. I know that I always say this, and then almost nothing ever changes prior to me making a substitution, but we'll give it a go. It's opening game of the season. Lads are still getting the shooting boots on. Force it with a long goal kick. It's a very weirdly grouped up team. Marshall, Rami gets the tackle onto Moncrief. Is he going to put through someone? Rule. And he scores. Danai Rule scores on his debut. Absolute scenes down at Pat Meadow. Look at that crowd. We have not had a crowd that big ever. There's actually people visible. I don't know how I didn't notice that. It's a lovely pass through from Moncrief. Somehow sends the keeper the wrong way. The keeper just started charging out towards the penalty spot and left half the goal open. But I'm not going to complain. It's 443 people here today. That's got to be an attendance record for us. Oh, no, it goes through to Wales. Oh, my God, Yakubu puts it onto the crossbar. That was an absolute sniper shot. Metcalf for the free kick. Oh, he just blasts it into the top corner. Scott Metcalf scores on his debut as well. Grandpa gets a goal. Absolutely incredible. He's seen out his potentially final season in English football with just a fantastic finish. You cannot take that away from him. Now, Wales gets on the end of the long ball. Back to Powell. Can he do something with this? He gets the ball in, but I think, yeah, Yakubu collects that. Long ball up is Moncrief on the end of this. He's so much faster than everyone else. He's one-on-one with the keeper. Oh, he can't quite get the finish. Good save from their keeper. Ball with the corner. Goes to the back post. Moncrief is 5'6". There is no way he's getting the end of that header. Maybe I should set up my corner routines to be a little bit different. I don't normally have it going to Moncrief. Metcalf with the long ball up to absolutely nobody. Even with that slightly older head on his shoulders, he's still making the same mistakes everyone else seems to. Force it with a long goal kick. Oh, defenders having a nightmare. Was that Kemp or was that Myler? I think it was Kemp, who just sort of walked alongside him while the guy just sprinted, and we were lucky not to concede there, but he did absolutely Stuart Pearce the ball. That might land, close to my house. I said I'd make a substitute. We've probably got some knackered players out here. It's the first game of the season. And again, the tactics board keeps disappearing. Button for short off. We'll bring Barrett on, I suppose. He's not brilliant at centre-back, but he's the only option we've got on the pitch. Other than that, Essay's not had a brilliant game. So let's try out Jack Wilson for the end. Yeah, he's... I feel like we should put him on attack. Cross from the byline is the only instruction change, and that makes sense because he's going to be rapid. And why not give Reece Oliver a run out? Nicholson with a throw in now to Myler. Back to Nicholson. Wilson can't get it. There's absolutely no one back here. It's a 2-on-1 situation. If he gets the ball across, this could be terrible. Gregory. Oh, it's got to be a... Oh! How did that not go in? I mean, if you can't score that, you don't deserve to win, and you haven't. 2-0 win, Chelmsley Town. Surprisingly comfortable, despite the fact that Kimo Moncrief just did not really show up that game. He got an assist, obviously. 6.8 rating isn't brilliant for him, though. We've won in the FA Cup extra preliminary round. All scores in his debut, and, most importantly, we actually have some prize money coming into the club. 1.12 thousand. It's not amazing, but at this early stage of the competition, it's never going to be. We have still got 15,000 in the bank after that takeover. Plenty left in the wage budget. Transfer budget's pretty irrelevant. We could quite easily just bump almost all of that into the wage budget if need be, because I don't think we're going to be paying money for anyone at this point unless someone absolutely fantastic comes up. But yeah, I suppose literally 4 days we'll be back with a game against Market Drayton. Before that, though, we have got the preliminary round. We've just got through the extra preliminary round. This is a preliminary round. I assume the extra preliminary round was added in because of how many clubs there are in the 10th tier across all divisions. You added an extra like 700, 800 teams to the database. And I mean, obviously, there still wasn't enough slots because we didn't get into it last season. But again, I'm not going to draw through all 330 teams. That would be one hell of a stream. Right, who have we got? I don't know why I decided to always scroll down rather than just going back to the main page. Wolfrunians or Saltash United? Who is who there? Wolfrunians are playing in the Midlands Football Premier Division. They're actually in our division. I did not notice that. And Saltash United are in the Western League Premier Division. I think that's also the same tier as us. Yeah, that's still County League's Premier. Yeah, we're playing teams that should be easier than our previous game. We pretty much walked that, so, let's hope for a little FA Cup run here. We've also just sold 33 season tickets this season, which is over double what we sold last season. That's just, everything's looking up for us here. How much money does that generate this season? 1,927. I mean, I was expecting this to be almost nothing, but that's 4 times as much as we got last season. Obviously, our ticket prices have gone up quite a bit. One other thing that actually should probably be noted, apparently our owner did take out a bank loan. That's probably why we actually had about 22,000 after he took over. 29,000 was taken out. We have started repaying it, £500 a month up until 2028. To be honest, by 2028, I'd hope we'd be in a position where we could have just easily paid this off all at once well before that. But I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Just quickly, it looks like Saltash United beat Wolverunians. Wolverunian, I'm never going to be able to get that name. So it looks like we're playing Saltash United in the next round. Looks like it's time to jump into the market trader match. So looking at the squad, I think we're going to take Cash out and put Kanina back in. Might put Oliver in front of Binns. And I think we're good there. That's the whole of defence covered. Centre mid, wingers and striker. We've got cover for every position. So yeah, I'm just going to go for it. Market trading are lining up in another 5-3-2. Is this just the information this season? I don't think I saw that the whole of last season. Whereas this season, we've played 2 games and both of them are using that formation. But unfortunately, Nicholson, Kemp, knocking it around nicely. Moncrief, is he going to put Roulé through? He's just going to go on his own. He's just going to go on his own. Oh, and he hits the bar. I was just waiting for a pass to happen, but Kimo Moncrief, once he sniffs that goal, he's not passing to anybody. Comes back to Rami. Is he going to smack it? Yes, he is. Oh, and that's the underside of the bar as well. We've hit the bar 2 times in the first 4 minutes. Lovely throw into Moncrief. Back to Myler. Metcalf gets a nice cross in. Essie could get on the end of it. No, he can't. Nicholson around S8. Oh, it falls to Roulé. And he scores again. His first league game for us. Oh, my, this man. Once Shiloh Waldo's back, I feel like these two, Rule and Waldo on the wings, are going to be insane. 117 people here. That's far more than we were used to last season at most grounds. It does seem to have quietened off some after that early goal. And that's half time. I normally don't like going with the assistant ones, but he pretty much always says exactly what I'm thinking. So, got some good synergy going on. It's obviously that new assistant manager we've got. Now Market Draitner on the counter. No, Rami with a long ball up to Moncrief. Could this be the moment for him? Yes, it is. Kmar Moncrief gets his first goal of the season. Fantastic little piece of play from us. Rami and Moncrief linking up, as has sort of become usual at this point. Just the partnership that started out as Brad Binns and Kmar Moncrief has definitely turned into Rami and Moncrief at this point. We're approaching the hour mark. I think it's probably worth making a substitution at this point. It's closed again. There's got to be a way to lock this. And if there is, how have I never known about it before? Scott Metcalf hasn't been having the best game of his life, so I'm going to bring in Kanina, bring him back, first appearance of the season. Other than that, do I want to maybe try and avoid some suspensions? We could either bring on Barrett or maybe Reece Oliver could get a run out. It's quite early and Rami has been very good for us. I hope I don't regret this, but I'm going to leave it another 5-10 minutes or so. But unfortunately with the free kick. Myler, Kemp, Nicholson, up to Rami. Can he get a cross in? And Moncrief's on his own, so it's unlikely he's going to hit him, and he doesn't. Nicholson approaches now. Myler, lovely ball up to Esse. Oh, that looked offside. That was offside. He does hit the post anyway, so kind of glad that I don't have the disappointment of a non-goal. With less than 10 minutes left, I think I'm going to bring off Rami for Oliver. Let's give Jack Wilson a run out. I feel like he could do with some game time. In this low pressure environment, it makes sense, especially if their wingers are having a bit of a stinker. Their wing backs even. Oliver throw on goal, but it's apparently just cannot run. Goes straight to Wilson though, who gives it away straight away. Sang up to back to Kanina. Work to Roller. Oh, he's going to steal the ball. This is Moncrief. And he scores 3-0. Kmar Moncrief with his second of the game. Absolutely brilliant for us. Yes, come on. I nearly took him off to give Devontae Morton a run out. To give Devontae Morton a run out. That would have been a horrendous decision now in hindsight. Wilson now. It seemed like very early in the highlight to get a good shot away. So, oh. Mundell's one-on-one with Yakubu. This is probably going to be a goal. Yakubu is so good at putting people off. That's the only explanation, because people keep just missing absolute sitters against us. Another victory. Oh, I am very happy with how this has been going so far. Neither game seemed like we were as dominant as we were in most of last game, especially towards the beginning of the season. Starting the season, top of the table. fantastic. You know what? Oh, I wasn't going to do this, but since the next cup game is only 10 days game time, let's make this a triple header. But before we get to that, we've got the Isuzu FA Vars first qualifying round draw. Again, 352 teams going in. I'm not going to bother watching it all. Who did we get? Let's be smart about this. Stockport Georgians. Where are they? Oh, it looks like they're actually in a division below us. That's good news. At least we should get through the first round of this. Is there much prize money attached to this? I'd assume it's less than the FA Cup. The first round, 550, 775, 8. Yeah, I mean, we are expected. I mean, third round proper is where we get sort of the equivalent prize money to what we got for winning the first round of the FA Cup. But we are expected to go relatively deep in this competition. Yeah, quarter final we're expected to hit. So we better bring our A game for this. Bit of a kick in the teeth here. Jack Greaves has decided to go to Worthing ahead of us. I mean, they are in the Vanarama National League South, so you can't really be surprised. I mean, pretty much every team, I think, yeah, two of the other teams who rejected were also in that league, and AFC Dunstable are, I believe they're still comfortably higher than us. So obviously it was pretty unlikely he was going to be joining us. He's going there on, I can't, he's going there on a non-contract. I was offering him money. This is disgraceful. And just to make it a little bit more disappointing for us, actually, in the last game, we came up against Chelmsley Town, 3-1 win, comfortable, came on Moncrief with a hat-trick, and a scary little orange icon next to his name, actually. So he's only injured for 6 to 9 days, which, you know, it's not the end of the world. He should be back relatively soon, but I don't really want to be relying on Devontae Morton consistently to be our striker, so I would definitely like to get someone in so we can get Tyler McGee out the door, because also it's driving me insane. He's just got a constant string of offers coming in. But as soon as I reject them, another 3 or 4 come in, and it's getting to be a bit much. And with that, it is game day. I've made a few little changes to our team and formation. We've got Devontae Morton up front as a target man on support, and I've switched our right winger spot to an inside forward on attack. So hopefully S.A. Wilson can get in there and give Morton some support from all of his flick-ons and whatnot, which I'm hoping he'll get, because he is very strong, very tall, even if he's not brilliant at heading. He's got the reach. We've got Oliver and Binns in midfield, Kemp in behind, Barrett, Button Forshaw, Kanina and Barrett at the back. I've been toying with the idea of giving Bolan a run out in goal. I feel like I'm going to go for it. It is a bit of a risk. Paul Yakubu is definitely a better goalkeeper. And, you know, goalkeeper rotation isn't quite as important as pretty much any other position. But, yeah, we're going to give him a shot. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite us. But it's a cup game. If we get knocked out now, this would be incredibly depressing. But hey, fingers crossed. Let's go for it. Generally positive response from the team talk. Saltash United are playing, the same formation as us. Nice to come across something different. Okay, Saltash, what have you got for us? Start off with an early corner. Connor can't... Oh, it comes off the bar and it drops straight to Youssef Mohammed. I thought that was going well over after it hit the bar. I can't really blame Bolan for that. That was a very good free kick that very nearly snuck in. Right, not the start that we wanted, but fingers crossed. Out to Williams. What can he do? He's massive compared to our players there. Back to Davis. Miller. Just playing it around nicely, aren't they? Oliver. Morton through on goal. Can he get... Oh, he can't quite get the finish, but he does get a corner out of it at least. Tommy Barrell with the corner now. And to Morton. Oh, how did that not go in? That's 7 heading for you. Free kick from them. Doesn't go anywhere useful. Wilson bounced off the back of his head. Up to Morton. Does he hold it up? No, he's just going to go for it. He's definitely not fast enough to outrun anyone, so I'm not sure why he's going with that, but the pressure works out for him. He puts a lovely pass through to Wilson. Is Wilson going to cross it? To someone. Brad Binns. And he comes. What a goal. Brad Binns arriving late into the area, as he always does. Pings it top corner. That seems to be the majority of his goals, actually. That was a very strange passage of play. Wilson here, good patience. I really thought he was going to whip it in. Instead he chips it to Brad Binns and just rockets it in the top corner. That was a fantastic finish, and it gets us back into the game. 1-1, game on. Now pretty much straight away, a free kick for them. Crack. Up to Davis, doesn't really do anything with it. Tommy Barrell, please don't let this be a defensive mess up. Okay, cool. He gets the ball away. Wilson onto Morton. Back to Wilson. He's definitely got the pace, although their defender must be absolutely rapid. Gets a pass into Kemp. Is this going to be a classic Kemp shot? No, it's not. It falls to Oliver. Puts it slightly over and wide. And just actually, now I think about it, probably not that close to the goal at all. Now, Davis with the throw-in. Just goes straight to Barrel again. Everything's getting mopped up by Barrel so far. Kanina, button foreshore. Oliver comes up to SA. Long ball up to Morton. What can he do with it? Lose it. But it bounces back to him. And he gets dispossessed again. This isn't a great first appearance from him. But I suppose he did basically set up the assist for the first goal. Kanina foreshore. Oliver up to SA. Can he get on the end of this? Not quite, but it falls to Wilson. Devontae Morton, and he scores! I take back everything I said. Devontae Morton, absolutely beautiful finish on the turn there with his left foot. Scoops it into the bottom corner. He does look like a grown man celebrating with a bunch of children looking at him, but that's how I always looked in school as well. I'm also 6'4". So just a lovely turn and finish. That could not have been any more in the corner. Brilliant turnaround from Chelmsley Town inside 36 minutes. Miller with a long ball, and it just drops straight into the net. Shane Crack with the header. Oh, I'm starting to debate whether I should have had bowling on. That one I can maybe blame him for. He comes out a little bit too far and he just can't quite reach it, although I'm not sure Yakubu would have either. But, ah well. Looks like we're game on again, I suppose. It's going to be half-time first. So looking at the team, I'm thinking SA might have to come off and I might bring Dano Rule back on. I think maybe that. And Wilson's actually a both-sided player, isn't he? Yeah, he's primarily a right-sided. And since Rule was doing so well on the left side, I think I'm going to switch them over. Though he was, I suppose it's not making too much difference really. They're both playing the same position. Yeah, let's just keep them how they are. Other than that, I'm not going to bring on Moncrief just yet because Morton, I mean, I didn't think he was doing too well, but a 7.7 performance, he's definitely, he's definitely pulling his weight. I'm going to take Kemp off and put Myler on. 2 subs this early on might be a bit much, but Kemp hasn't had a brilliant first half. Long ball up now to absolutely nobody. The classic Chelmsley Town pass. Birch, the long ball up to absolutely nobody. Oh, Binns beats one. Can he put Morton through? He can, but Morton just doesn't have the control that we're used to in that position. Barrett up to Myler. Oh, can Barrett get in the distance? Oh, Wilson? Morton? Wait, what happened there? That was such an odd passage of play. I need to see the replay for this. It's a long ball up from Myler. Morton's trying to get on the end of it. He gives up, so the keeper comes out. Wilson chests it to the side, and Morton slots it into the open net. I am thrilled with the outcome, but very confused on the journey we took to get there. Long ball up to Morton. We've definitely got our game plan this thing. Rule is through, and he just can't quite find the far corner. Oh, that would have made this the best start to a second half we've ever had. Birch with a long ball up. Barrel. Doesn't really go anywhere. Falls to Christophe, but a good tackle from Reece Oliver. Rule is now through on goal, maybe? Yes. And he again can't quite find the far corner. I am going to switch those two over because he seems very heavily right-footed. And he just can't quite get that curl into the far corner that he needs. Oliver, Binns, passes it to nobody. Christophe. Out to Williams. Into Davis. Good tackle by Brad Binns there. Tommy Barrow with a long ball up. Morton gets the flick on. Rule runs on the end of it. Does the side swap make a difference here? No, well, he definitely got more power on the shot. It was probably just as inaccurate, but we can't complain too much at 3-2. A long ball up. Is Kanina going to get a good touch? Yes, he is. Always reliable, Kanina. Ball back to Brad Binns. Get that cursor off the screen. Don't know how much been there. Oliver's through on goal now. And he gets the goal. Reece Oliver scores. That was, the defence did seem to stand still there, to be honest. Which again, It all seemed like it was moving in slow motion, and then suddenly we've just got a goal. I'm not quite sure. A ball up. Everyone's just surrounding Morton. And just gives Rhys Oliver a clear path through on net. 4-2 after 72 minutes. It's a risky pass back to their keeper, but it does get it away. But unfortunately doesn't quite get the header on it. Good interception by Tommy Barrell though. Rule now. Rule is just walking all the way around their team. He's going for a shot again. As soon as I switch him to the left side, he's now shooting with his left foot. But this guy, he's just determined not to score. Barrel with the corner in. Does it fall to Kanina? Not quite. Is Wilson going to put it back out wide? No, he's going to go himself. And he probably shouldn't have. That was an absolutely terrible attempt. Barrett, what's he going to do? No, Button Forshaw goes for the long ball. Devontae Morton heads it on. Oliver through to Wilson. I hope he was onside there because that's a goal. Lovely finish in the top corner. And it was offside. I really wasn't sure, but we don't have VAR down at this level. Yeah, he's comfortably ahead. Both of our wingers are just miles ahead of the defensive line there. Maybe the pass should have come a little bit sooner, but can't complain too much. Boland, just don't make this another goal that's your fault. No, okay, he does get the ball away. I always get scared that there's going to be a short pass. Oliver's just through on goal again. Is he going to be able to get the finish? No, he can't quite. He took it far too wide then. If he'd just carried on going straight, I think he'd have had a much better chance of scoring. For the last 5 minutes, I think I'm going to bring Kemar Moncrief on. Give Devontae Morton the rest that he so thoroughly deserves. I assume we only get 2 subs at this level. Yeah, 3 subs even. Yeah, just checking. Give him a little bit of run out. Now he's back from injury. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us. I don't think he's going to get injured. No, it looks good. 4-2 victory. Jobs are good, and that was a very scary game starting off with. We came back into it well. Adam Boland's one mistake. I suppose the first goal I can't really put on him, but the second goal I feel like he probably should have done a bit better with his positioning. I was looking at the results, but I don't even know half the teams, quite frankly. Morton makes an immediate impact. He was actually, you know what, I was being a bit disrespectful to him after the first half, but he actually absolutely saved us in that game. And now it's time for the draw for the first qualifying round of the FA Cup. We're finally getting some slightly bigger teams in here. I mean, none of them are going to be massive. 200 teams going in. Who do we get? We get hashtag United. Oh, funnily enough, hashtag United were the team that I was originally planning to take over when I downloaded this Tier 10 database. I think I just watched a video going over some of their accomplishments, and I was thinking that would be quite an interesting save idea. But then obviously they start a few tiers up, so I was looking through the Tier 10 teams just in case anyone caught my eye. And Chelmsley Town being my local side, my most local of local sides. I always say Solihull Moors are my local side, but Chelmsley Town are literally less than a mile from my house. So I decided to go with them instead. And here we are, we're facing off against them. This could be a much tougher game for us. I would expect hashtag United to be quite a formidable foe, especially looking at their bank balance. 314,000. What is going on? They're just absolutely loaded with all that YouTube money. And I mean, while I don't know any of their signings, I don't think. Feel free to point any out if there's anything obvious that I'm missing. I am very curious to see how we get on against them. This could be quite the match. And with that, I can't really find a better note to. And with that, I can't really find a better note to end on. We have had quite the start to the season. 4 wins out of 4 games. We have conceded 3 goals, which I could have done without, but it did add a little bit more excitement to that final game against South Ash. As far as who we're coming back for, I'm tempted to come back for the first qualifying round for the Isuzu Vars, but I feel like Beans and Stockport Georgians are a much lower team than us. I don't think that makes sense. I think this is a graphical glitch, by the way, if you're curious. We're apparently playing Lighttown away twice in 3 days, both league games. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, so I'm just going to assume that's a glitch, especially as the home game is down here. So I assume one of these is actually going to be another team, and that's just my schedule's messing up. As far as who we're going to come back for the next game, I think I'm going to let the next few fixtures pan out and see how the table starts to form. Highgate United, though, are the favourites to win the league. If we look at the season preview, they're now evens to win the league, so they could be a very tough match. So I think that might be one worth coming back for. Whether we also come back for Bilston, we could maybe do Stone OA, Stone Old Alienians. They're currently top of the table, but I don't know if they're going to stay there. If they are, we might do those two. But I think we're definitely coming back for Highgate United, and then we'll just maybe pick another game. We've also got Walsall Wood coming up in the next few months, but that seems like far too much to jump over mid-episode. Thank you very much for watching and sticking with us for this triple header. We will be back in a month's time for Highgate United, and we'll see where it goes from there.